I have this dream and this vision that everybody can have access to very high quality, or price will not stop people from getting the support that they need.
The AI Advantage. Welcome to the Evolvepreneur AI Advantage Show. And I'm your host, Richard Wray. My mission is to help entrepreneurs understand AI and use it to their advantage. Today's special guest is Deborah Tyson. Deborah is the founder of BlissBot and is on a mission to democratize well-being over the next decade. Today, we're talking about energizing wellness, BlissBot's AI frontier. Deborah, welcome to the show.
Hi, Richard. It's absolutely delightful to be here and chat with you about my favorite topics.
Hey, Deborah, great to have you here. And just for complete transparency, of course, we are working together. I'm acting as your AI and automation consultant outside of the show.
Yes, which is fantastic. And we've been doing some very exciting work together. So, yeah, wonderful.
And I'm sure we'll get into that as we go along the chat today. But the question I ask all my guests, Deborah, is where in the world are you?
I am in Sydney, Australia. I love Sydney. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
It is a beautiful part of the world.
For sure. Yeah, the weather, you can't beat it. Not so seasonal, but very consistent.
This is true. This is true. So, Deborah, let's get into a little bit of the history here. So, BlissBot's not a new thing. It's not just turned up in the last few weeks. It's been something you're doing for a little while, and you've been very successful for it. Tell us about you and how you got to BlissBot.
So BlissBot's been going for 7 years. It was always a passion of mine, the area of personal development. And I had 2 other businesses prior to that, which I loved. I've been very fortunate all my life. I've been able to work in what my passions are. And with BlissBot, I really wanted to do, as we've discussed, which I love this quote, that if you love your work, you never work another day in your life. And that's how I feel with BlissBot. I mean, running a business can be challenging, and it can certainly have its highs and lows and push you to your limits. But when it's your passion, I think you have that energy to get from A to B, to the next point, because you're so focused on what you're doing.
Absolutely. And what created this passion in the first place? Why did you become so focused on wellness?
I believe it's almost something that found me. My first business was a design business, which I started when I was 24. And I didn't know a lot about business in those days, but I was a very passionate designer. So I was on a very steep learning curve.
Mhm.
And one thing I realized, that when you're stressed, which I was back in those days quite often because I was out of my depth in many areas. So when you're stressed up here, it's usually that your knowledge is down here. And I realized you have to grow in your knowledge, not only with business skills. Certainly I had to grow with a lot of my business skills, learning about cash flows and accounts, and but also the other areas such as managing teams and conflict resolution. And I had to grow as a person. I had to grow personally. I think that business is one of the best areas of personal growth that you'll ever find. Very pushed, or that's certainly been my experience, to grow, to meet the challenges, to be able to deliver your vision, whatever that might be. And that journey for me continues to this day. I'm always a global tech business is a whole new, I'd not done that before. So I'm learning and growing all the time.
And of course, it's been running for 7 years now, so you must be doing something right.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I think just you have to keep on going and believing in yourself and improving. I believe in business. It's not that one big thing, or it can be a big break
Mhm.
that you get with a client or something, but it's those thousands of incremental improvements or changes that you've made along the way that can lead to the big break. So I think it's that consistent, focused effort that makes businesses work.
Your whole business and the way you speak is always about positivity, I've found. AI doesn't necessarily have that attached to it. Some people see it as quite cold, and there's the often cited line of it's going to take all of our jobs, this sort of thing. How do you see AI helping an organization like BlissBot and helping the people that use it?
I love that question. I just absolutely love it, because I am not a technical person. I've had to learn a certain amount of tech to make my business run, and I've enjoyed that journey. But naturally, I'm more into the creative side of things, the human development side of things, the product.
Mhm.
That's my sort of zone of genius, or whatever you'd like to call it. So my journey with AI has surprised even myself, because I really thought, oh, it's sort of got a bit of a technical ring to it. And I didn't think it would be something that I would embrace. But this time last year, it was at a time where everybody was saying, it's all died down now, though. Have you heard about ChatGPT? Have you heard about ChatGPT? And I heard about it from about 8 different sources. So I thought, I better give it a go. And I just absolutely loved it, because it was just such a marvelous tool where I could think of an idea, put it into ChatGPT and get something back. And then I could work with it till it was what I thought was appropriate to represent in business. And probably, as everybody knows by now, with AI, it's what you put in impacts the results you get back. So if you just do something broad or a bit airy-fairy, your probably results aren't going to be that good. But if you can be really focused and put in what you see and work with it, I think you can get some incredible results. So I absolutely loved that. And I felt, for me, it was like having a writer on the team at BlissBot. I could do things so much quicker. It just freed up my creativity, where it allowed me to work in my zone of genius much more than I could have prior to that. And then the whole journey with Midjourney, people kept saying, I'm interested in blockchain, a few different things. So I'd be going to lots of different networking events, and everybody's talking about Midjourney. In fact, my son, he's 22, he's very up on all these tools and techniques. So he introduced me to Midjourney, and I just loved it, because my background is as a designer, so I can have the idea and then also create it as well. So I felt like I almost had a full-time designer on.
So you didn't see Midjourney as a threat, because a lot of people will see Midjourney and they think, okay, this is designing images. And there was an off-quoted phrase about, okay, this will never take my job, or a computer will never do my job. And then along comes Midjourney. So, in the designing world, I think that worried a few people. It sounds like you were not in that camp.
Not at all. I just saw all the AI tools that I've been associated with as allowing me to expand as a person, to be more, to offer more, to do more with my business. It just opened up all these new doors. So to me, it's been a marvelous journey, and I didn't really have any expectations, but I didn't realize I would embrace it in the way that I have. And we're just about to launch an AI chatbot on BlissBot. Just open up all these doors, plus a whole range of programs, customizing people to the 8 greatest challenges that people commonly face in life. So it's just led us down this marvelous path, and I think brought a lot more, for me, joy into the business, because it's taken out a lot of the grunt work or the hard work of even, say, finding a writer, getting a writer and briefing them. I would like to think that for all, this takes us forward rather than losing jobs. And I get it that it can be scary if you're a writer or full-time designer, but I think the nature of those jobs will just change, I think, and open new doors and new possibilities.
So you've embraced it and run with it rather than try and fight it. So you're riding the
For
wave.
sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, think that they're marvelous tools. I just see them as tools, business tools.
So as an entrepreneur with your own business, and you say you've had other businesses before, it sounds like AI has enabled you to do more, get away from, the actual drudge work, and actually focus on, the stuff that you really want to do.
That's exactly it. You've said it in a nutshell. It's just opened up all these new doors, and I think the quality of the work is better. It's like I always use ChatGPT like a bit of a brainstorming thing. They'll, ChatGPT, I'm sort of making it into a person, will give me an idea, and then I think, no, that's not quite right, ChatGPT. Why don't we do this? And then they'll come back, and then we go back and forth. So I think, oh, that's it. That's perfect. And so I think the quality of the work has improved as well.
So it sounds like you are speaking to ChatGPT as if it was a person.
Well, I just try to see things like a wise and trusted friend, just as a support, business support. So I don't really see it as a person, because I do know that it is a technology tool, but just in my mind, I see it it does seem to have a bit of a personality, because it does seem that you can talk to it, you can share ideas with it, and then you get ideas back. So I guess that does give it somewhat of a personality.
Interesting. That's very good. So, in the industry of wellness and individual wellness, how do you see AI helping people?
I believe that we can customize things more with AI. We can deliver more. We can make it the content more fun and engaging and more personalized. And as I've touched upon, BlissBot has just developed. We last year we spent 8 weeks doing research in coming up with a new product for BlissBot, which we've done using leading global experts from all around the world sharing their content on 8 different challenges that people most commonly face, such as having low energy. That's
Mhm.
apparently an epidemic at the moment. A lot of people feel like they have very low energy. Loneliness, that's another big epidemic.
That's a very common one these
Yeah.
days, isn't it?
Stress is absolutely huge. Relationship issues, people can be very affluent, have a very good life, yet struggle with the people that are closest to them. And I believe that while the world's facing these problems, we still have work to do. There's support that can be given, there's changes that can be made, because we can really work through any challenge, but often we don't know how and we get stuck. And that's when I think it's time to reach out and get the support. That's what I do in my life. I do the best I can with my own skills.
Mhm.
But there's really no need for people to struggle if they're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, if they're feeling they've got financial well-being issues, or they've got their feeling alone, or they've got physical issues. These things can be worked through. The world's a massive, great big place. There's so many ideas, and people have devoted their life on BlissBot to solving specific problems, such as sleep, or such as feeling alone, or anxiety. This is their life's work, the body of work that they're presenting in BlissBot. So we serve it to people, and AI is helping us in a huge way with this, in a way that's palatable, convenient, curated, uh, giving people maximum results in a minimum amount of time. The world is so busy at the moment. Everybody seems to be time poor and overwhelmed. So we've decided to cut through all the chase and, cut to the chase, cut through all the noise, and just deliver things that are very relevant in a very short, succinct way daily to support people on whatever challenge they might be facing. And Richard, we are very grateful for you for working with us as an AI consultant, because you've helped make that journey possible. When I met Richard, I was going to do that work myself by hand. So set up automations to deliver this content to people. It probably would have taken me well over 100 hours or more in work by hand, putting that all together. But I've been working with Richard, but more than that, it's created a solution that we can adjust and work with in a manageable way going forward. So AI has really helped us deliver, I believe, wellness in a way that can really support people on a daily basis.
This sounds like a really great way forward, and I'm proud to be part of it as well. One of the things that was mentioned at the beginning of the intro was the democratization of wellness. And that enablement that AI brings to give people access to writers, potentially designers, etc. It sounds like that's exactly the same sort of approach you're taking with technology and AI. So people who maybe couldn't afford to speak to a specific expert in a topic, they can get that level of help and support through your platform, BlissSpot, and AI.
Yeah, you've hit the nail right on the head. I have this dream and this vision that everybody can have access to very high quality wellness, that price will not stop people from getting the support that they need in their daily life. So the system that or the offering that we're making, is that it's less than a cup of coffee a day for people to get a tailored program which covers mindfulness, education in the area that they want to improve upon, a fitness program, and then a sleep meditation that helps them rest every night. Sleep is a really big issue that people have as well. And I say that very seriously, because if we don't sleep well the next day, we can find it really hard to function. So we support people in those 4 key areas for less than a cup of coffee a day. And we also are on a mission to help people that can't afford that as well. So every 10th subscription we sell goes to somebody in need. We give that away. So
That's a wonderful way forward.
yeah, that's our business model. So that we're moving forward and we're helping those that can afford it while also supporting people in need, bringing them forward as well on the journey.
One of the topics you mentioned earlier on was loneliness.
Mm.
Now, I've seen services out there around AI, and I've seen reports written which talk about this being such a huge problem, and AI companions being a potential solution or partial solution for this. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think, look, people need the support, and the way, I mean, ideally, I think it's not great if we just come to rely on machines as humans,
Mhm.
because humans are beautiful and so special, and we have so much to offer in the way that we can support each other. That's why we've made BlissBot. It's humanity taking humanity forward. So
Mhm.
all the ideas are presented by real people who've studied that topic and are presenting the best of their work to help people on their journey. But the AI, again, it's a wonderful tool. So if you're lonely, if you choose that challenge on BlissBot to overcome loneliness, you would be served a piece of content in the morning that's by a video of a person that's speaking to you. So I see BlissBot sort of metaphorically being a wise and trusted friend. It's there to support you on your journey, but it's real people taking real people forward. And the AI comes in the way that it serves it and helping us to deliver that content in the best way possible.
So it sounds like you're working very hard to make sure you've got a balance of there's still the humanity involved, but using technology in a smart way, be it AI or any other technology, to ensure that people are getting super focused, super targeted content that is right for them.
That's exactly right. And we have big plans to improve that journey. We're doing it
Mm,
right now, but as we go along to make it more engaging and fun and
mhm.
um, rewarding. Yes. So, but I think AI has a huge part in that role.
That's very interesting. Where do you see the biggest gaps in the market per se? Is it in corporates? Is it individuals? Is it governments that need to get engaged with this sort of area? Because the whole concept of wellness, it is incredibly challenging. And as you say, we've talked about sleep, we've talked about loneliness, there can be nutrition, there can be financial well-being. They all lead to stress at the end of the day in one way or another. And probably everybody that's listening to this is experiencing that in one way or the other. Where are the biggest areas that you think people really need to start paying attention to themselves and coming to BlissBot?
Well, it's really, I'm probably almost a bad person to ask that from a marketing perspective, because with marketing, they say you've got a niche down, you've just got to pick a target and
Mhm,
focus.
mhm.
But to me, wellness is something that impacts every single person on the planet. Like whether you're in a corporates desperately need wellness because of the pressures and the changes that are occurring there. Individuals, that's why sleep and loneliness is epidemic, because individuals are struggling with those things. Startups, like it's very stressful being in a startup. So we do focus, we're like Canva or LinkedIn, where we've got solutions for individuals, but there's a team solution as well. So for your business, if you wanted to get on board, you can have your own private group and be supported along the way. And one thing we're very proud of with BlissBot, say for corporates, everybody in days gone by, I think it's changing now, but in days gone by, it was like, oh, come on, everyone, let's do a mindfulness program, or
Mhm.
come on, everyone, we'll give you all a Fitbit. Whereas some people might hate fitness. They might be struggling with their teenage daughter. So the last thing on their mind is that's not their biggest pressing challenge at the time. So within a company, BlissBot puts you on an individual pathway. So if you're struggling with sleep, you can do that. If the person sitting next to you is struggling with stress, they can be served content that will support them on that journey. And everything that we do at BlissBot is very experiential. So it's not just this um, uh, academic or theory coming at you. that you start to experience those shifts and changes in your body, so you can feel the difference. And we have a guarantee that if you don't, well, you're allowed to try it for 7 days for free anyway. So it's sort of a no lose or a no risk way of getting involved. But after 7 days, we are very sure that you'll experience some sort of positive shift in your body if you do all the things that we ask you to do, which are very easy to take on board. They're things that I do in my own life. I felt the shifts and changes myself. Other people have felt them. So if you just get on board and try it for 7 days and start to really feel a positive shift within you, making life flow a little bit more, just a little bit easier. And then as you go on, of course, the shifts and changes become greater.
So it sounds like BlissBot isn't just about the individual. There's the potential that if somebody's listening and they have a team that is working for them, they can help their team by bringing in BlissBot or making BlissBot available to their team. And it might be solving problems outside of work, but it will help make them happier and they'll be better individuals and contributors to the company.
Absolutely. Well, hand on my heart, I can say in my own businesses, when I've given people the support that they've needed in the business, because people bring their whole self to work. And while as a business owner, it's not our responsibility to get involved in people's personal lives, because
Mhm.
that's a boundary and that's their personal life, we can offer them the support or a system or the tools that will help them. I think um, after the pandemic, the psychological safety at work from the International Standards Organization was created, and that was saying that it's not compulsory or legal yet, but companies really need to start taking care of their team's well-being. And many are saying that it will become a legal requirement at some point because it is so important. And I think, yes, it is about being people absolutely, when they're happy and healthy, are more productive. But I think it's also actually more than that. It's more about people taking care of the people that they care about in the workplace, that are turning up every day to do a good job, to be involved in the vision, to take the company forward. And part of that is, they're taking care of business, and it's about taking care of them as well.
So do you see owners of companies or managers as having a duty of care for their staff?
I do, yes. I do take that seriously in my companies, or the companies that I've run in the past. I think, I don't know, it's just about being a good human being, is caring for your team. And if you can give them support in a cost effective way that
Mhm.
also actually will help the productivity and profitability of the business, it's like a win-win situation for everybody.
And it's the old line, stitch in time saves nine in reality.
That's right. And we believe in being proactive and preventative. If people are suffering from anxiety and depression, we can definitely help them in those issues. But if you catch a problem when it's small by giving support when it's small, it's much easier to fix and keep the company buoyant, the people in the company buoyant, and support the company as well.
And how would you suggest people within organizations, from a wellness point of view, a psychological point of view, can help their teams not be afraid of AI?
Yes, that's interesting. Well, I really think it's just getting them to try it, because everything, I believe, is experiential. You can tell people things. It's like, for me, I thought, oh, yeah, I really should give ChatGPT a go. And then when I tried it, I thought, oh, this is fantastic. It was fun and it was easy. So I believe by just getting them to try it and give it a go and see it as a tool that is there to support them.
That's fantastic. So you had the motivation to get over any potential fear. You tried it. You loved using ChatGPT. Maybe there are people out there that are just a little bit worried and they could use ChatGPT, Copilot from Microsoft, Gemini from Google, but just try them.
That's it. Just try it and give it a task and see if it helps you. I remember um, somebody running our tech and myself thought, oh, well, let's give it a go with ChatGPT. So we asked it to do a little introduction for us for a pitch or something we were doing, and it came back, and we both went, oh, that's pretty good. I was just so funny. We both went, oh, That's really
Fantastic.
good. It's better than what we were thinking. So I just think give it a go, but don't be ridiculous as well. Like some people said they've asked ChatGPT to say, what are the philosophies of Buddha and Jesus, all these great, making it do great big things. I think just be realistic. And again, I found it's what you put in, the more specific that you can be, and give it dot points and really clear, good parameters, the more likely, I try to put a lot of me into it. So then it's sort of representing of how I would feel and think and those kinds of things. I just see it as almost like a bit of an editor, but also ideas. It does give you good ideas as well.
Fantastic. Deborah, what is the one piece of advice people should take away from our conversation today?
I believe that if I can do it, because I am, like I say, my background is a designer, a kinesiologist. I'm very creative, also a business owner. I've been a business owner all my life. But if I can do it, and I'm not so technically minded, I believe anybody can do it if I can do it. And also too, Google is fantastic. I remember for Midjourney, if I wanted a specific look or a feel, you can use Google as a support to get you on the right path. So you're supported in that journey as well, because people will think, well, maybe I don't know how to use ChatGPT or Midjourney, but if you're looking for specific prompts or things, there's a whole world of support out there for you. I mean, we're very fortunate because we work with Richard. I think that's the ultimate, having a consultant who just
Very kind.
devotes his life to it and the latest things. That to me is the ultimate way to work, and I feel very grateful and happy to be on that path. Yes, but I just think give it a go. That's what you've got to do.
That is really great advice, Deborah. So the question I ask all my guests at the end, where can people find you, Deborah, and where are your exciting projects that they need to be looking at right now?
Okay, so we're on at BlissBot.com, and it's just with 2 S's. So that's BLISSPOT.com. And the exciting project that we've just released, which does incorporate Richard's wonderful AI work as well, is the challenges. So on the landing page, you'll see the text at the top in the banner, and then it'll say what's holding you back. If you press that button, it will bring up the challenges that perhaps you can have a look at. And if there's something there that takes your eye, just give it a go. It's totally free for 7 days. You can try it. If you don't like it, you can stop, no questions asked, or you might want to continue on the journey and get that lovely evening support in the morning and in the evening to help you really live your day in the best way possible, but also to sleep restfully at night and wake up feeling refreshed.
Fantastic. Well, Deborah, thank you for your time today. Lovely to hear you talk about the history and what you really feel about BlissBot and wellness. So I wish you the best of luck going forward.
Thank you so much, Richard. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here.
Well, that's a wrap on another awesome guest episode for the Evolvepreneur AI Advantage show. Just before you go, if you like this episode, we would be very grateful for a 5-star review. Please also consider recommending the show to a friend or two. Make sure you subscribe for future episodes at aiadvantage.show right now. Until next time, I'm Richard Wray, and if you're an entrepreneur, get the AI advantage today.